Hi guys, how are y'all doing? I am working on my next test project, which I had an idea to do on something on a silhouette with a sunset background on some rods that I'm working on, but I don't like going straight to the rods. I like to kind of test it out on like a test blank. But then again, it also gave me the chance to try out some pigments I've been wanting to try out. And I'm just going to run through the pigments I'm working with. And there's a video prior to this one that y'all can go through my videos and check, which kind of discusses pigments and testing out pigments and different things. I won't repeat my whole spiel, but this group of pigments right here was actually some mica pigments that came with a resin kit, and I wanted to see what it looked like on a rod, so I figured I'd kill a couple of birds with one stone. Now this group of pigments is actually came from a kit that several years ago when we were pouring sulfates and worms, this Illumidust pigment came with the kit. So I figured I would see what it looked like on rods. And I wasn't really happy, like I said on the other video, I wasn't really happy with the deep red, so I added a little bit of Pigments by Nuno liquid pigment, which it seems to work out sometimes when you can add a liquid pigment to a powder pigment, that it might help change the color just a little bit. It might not always work out the way you want it to, but sometimes it will. So after this dries, I'm going to go on to the next step and put a silhouette on top of this. So y'all follow me along in this idea that I've got, and keep your fingers crossed for me, and let's see how this works out. So the next step was to figure out what I could use to sketch my image onto this marbling, and I decided to try these charcoal pencils. They're General's charcoal pencils. I picked white for like the dark spots, because black wouldn't show up too well. And then I picked black for the light spots. Now, this right here is something my husband made me a while back for when we very first started rod building. I was actually writing people's names with like a, I think it was either a tester's pen or something. But anyway, it worked out really good because it's flat, and I was able to have my hand, more control over my writing utensil or drawing utensil, which it comes in really handy for things like this. And it's really simple. He just kind of, I don't know, cut an angle on the edge on each side, and just, I believe he screwed them on the, let me look, on a piece of board for me. No, he just nailed them with a short little nail. Works out perfect. This thing comes in handy for all sorts of things. I guess some people might call it a jig. But anyway, so what I've done so far is I've kind of sketched out what I'm going to do on the blank as my silhouette. And I'm going to use Posca pens, and they're paint pens, to blank out the image with. So I'll be back after I blank this out and show y'all what I've come up with. Alright, so I got my images put down. with this Posca pen. Now the thing about this Posca pen, they're ink pens, and these are the coolest. You can paint, or you're basically painting with a pen on just about anything. Now, how I found out about these was from an artist. His name is Drew Brophy. I don't know why I couldn't say his name right then. But anyway, y'all might want to look him up. He does some beautiful stuff. He does gorgeous, gorgeous surfboards. But anyway, it's paint and a pen, so you got to shake it up. And one of the things I learned when I was putting this down is if you don't let the paint sit and you make an oops, all you got to do is take a paper towel, a little bit of alcohol, and you can wipe that off and fix it. So right now I'm kind of letting it sit. I did my fisherman here, my fisherman silhouette, and on this one up here I did a heron. Let me see, trying not to get a shadow, with some old trees. I don't want to call it a stump, but a dead tree, and some bushes behind him. Alright, so my next step is going to be to put epoxy on it, but I want to make sure this sets pretty good and make sure it's dry, because it dries fast, but you don't want any, well, I'll just put it, you'll know when it's dry. But so I'm gonna put a coat of epoxy over the top of it and bring this back to life. So stay tuned, I'll be back in a few. Okay, so this is going to wrap up this video. I wanted to come back and show y'all what it looked like after I got a coat or two of epoxy over the top of it and added some trim bands to edge it out a little bit. And this turned out pretty good, I'd say. I'd like to put some on, or put this on some rods. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while now anyway, and I finally got around to it. And I hope you guys picked up a few things on this video. I hope I was helpful and gave you some ideas. Maybe some of these things, maybe you picked up some things that you could use on different ideas. But that's what it's all about, sharing ideas and helping people out. So you guys take care, tight lines. Don't forget to keep on following me, because I'm sure I'm going to try something else. Y'all have a great one. See you on the next one.